What is good, YouTube, and welcome back to a brand new video. Once again, back here on NBA 2K25, we also find ourselves back in the Stephen Curry era once again. At this point, this is basically a series we've been doing. We've just been basically doing all these NBA MyEras Stephen Curry team or Stephen Curry era teams, and it's been a ton of fun, and you guys seem to be enjoying it. And we're doing that same thing today. This time with the Sacramento Kings, who had DeMarcus Cousins. Before we get into today's video, make sure you guys drop a like on this one and subscribe if you're new to this channel. As always, greatly appreciated. Let's take a look at this Kings team. Also, really quickly, I need to say one thing for those of you who might care. I'm not sure if all of you will, but quick announcement. Next Monday, I believe I'll be bringing back the Madden Rebuild channel. So if you watch my Madden Rebuilds and missed them, I went ahead and edited that channel back to what it used to be. And I plan on uploading Madden Rebuilds again, I think, starting Monday. So if you want to go subscribe to it, I'll leave the link down in the description below. If you like Madden Rebuilds or like the NFL, it being back has made me miss doing them. So I'm going to go back to doing them. Outside of that, like I said, let's talk about the Sacramento Kings. So obviously, they have DeMarcus Cousins. And outside of this roster isn't that complete, unfortunately. I am using a custom roster that may have added a few guys. Maybe it didn't. I have no idea. A lot of these guys look like they were already in here. But yeah. I think Kenny did a video on it yesterday talking about how the eras isn't that complete. It kind of sucks. I'm using a custom roster to make it a little bit better. But outside of that, the Sacramento Kings, you know, it's kind of a travesty that this team never made the playoffs with Marcus Cousins, because this man was one of the best centers, if not the best center in the NBA at the time when he was playing in Sacramento. He was just an absolute beast. So our job today is to make sure to actually put a good and competent team around this man. We need to make sure he finds himself in the playoffs. Of course, eventually in real life, he gets traded to New Orleans for Buddy Hield and whatever else came back in return. I don't remember exactly what it was. But regardless, we are going to simulate year number one with what we got right now. And we're going to see if this team could just make the playoffs as it's built. I highly doubt it. I will probably see in the offseason to make a ton of moves. If we're in the lottery, that's great as well. Unless if our pick is going somewhere else, which is very possible at this point. And yeah, it doesn't look like we have our draft pick for whatever reason. So that is kind of unfortunate. Don't know who actually owns it, but whatever. So let's go ahead, just simulate year number one, and let's see how this team does with DeMarcus Cousins leading the way. Today's video is backed by two softwares designed to help you beat the sports books and become a much profitable sports bettor. We're starting on Daily Grind Fantasy's Optimizer. So if you play on apps such as Prize Picks, Underdog, or any of these popular DFS apps, having a tool like this is insanely clutch. So I'm recording this kind of early in the day on Wednesday, and we have a really solid play on Bowden Francis over 5.5 strikeouts. So if you take a look, every single book is favoring for this guy to go over 5.5 Ks. So we like that on Prize Picks, because if you plug this into a 5 or 6 man slip, you're getting it at much better odds over the long term rather than, you know, at minus 124, you know, across, you know, basically the average odds is minus 139. You're getting much better odds if you plug this in on Prize Picks. Which is why we absolutely love Daily Grind Fantasy's Optimizer to help us find plays like this. We also got Cooper Kupp under 8 receptions right now. The reason why is at 7.5, he's heavily favored to go over. This is a very heavy push potential prop, but it is here. And then Jake Moody, which I showed you guys in yesterday's video, is also still here at under 7.5 kicking points. I also love OddsJam's positive EV tool. Right now, they have a really good play on Cooper Kupp over 7.5 receptions on Fliff, which is nice. It's actually really cool to see this, because this is still a 7% EV play, and I got Cooper Kupp if it's going to load. It's not going to load, but I got him at plus 100, which feels fantastic based that this could, you know, this could be even better. Make sure to check out OddsJam and Daily Grind Fantasy. Both are, you know, helpful. Both are designed to help you beat the sports books and become a profitable sports bettor. And last but not least, Prize Picks. You got to sign up for Prize Picks as well. They got a free score on Caleb Williams. I believe they have a college football discount right now as well on Carson Beck. So a lot of promos, NBA right around the corner, a lot of things to take advantage of. So make sure to check out all links down in the description below. Use code Crushables on all of them. You get a percentage off first month on OddsJam and Daily Grind Fantasy, and on Prize Picks, they match first deposit dollar for dollar up to 100. Other than that, let's get back to rebuilding the Kings. So at the end of year number one, LeBron James keeps winning MVPs so far as we keep doing these. So we'll just go ahead and skip right through that. Here's your NBA first team. We do get Boogie Cousins making it. No surprise there. 20.5 points per game and 13 rebounds. So like I said, this man's a freaking stud. So we got to get him a contender around him. Now, awesomely enough, I don't know if that's really a word I just used, but surprisingly enough, we actually made the playoffs. 5th seed in the Western Conference. We get the Utah Jazz in round 1. We wanted to see this guy in the playoffs, and we accomplished that in year 1 without us doing anything. This team can improve much more, though. I don't really like this roster at all based on where we're at, but as long as we can improve in the offseason, that's what really matters. So I guess outside of course, DeMarcus Cousins, I guess we can see how the rest of the team did. So Rudy Gay was nice with 18.5 points per game, but he is 30 years old. So I think I'd be more than okay with moving on from him, especially if he accepts that player option, but we'll see what he does with that. Collison at 29, Ty Lawson, 29 as well, Aaron Flalo, 7, and then 7 from Garrett Temple. So 7 current round against Utah, and we are going to beat them in 7. So we actually get to round 2 with DeMarcus Cousins leading the way. Like I said, we still got a lot of work we can do on this team, and it's kind of encouraging that we're already this good. But we are going to get swept by the Warriors. Of course, this is the stacked Warriors squad, and it is going to be the Cavs and the Clippers in the finals, and the Cavs go on to win it all. So here are your retirements. As always, it's usually pretty the same here. And now it's time for the lottery. So unfortunately, as we saw, our pick is going somewhere else, but thankfully for actually... Oh, we get New Orleans pick, which is really nice to see. That might be from... I don't know if that's from a different trade. I'm not even going to question it, though. We have their pick. This is from a long time ago, so I can't even remember what this might have been from. Automatically, I presume that might have something to do with the DeMarcus Cousins trade, and DeMarcus Cousins is still on the roster. But whatever. Regardless, we're going to keep it at pick number 10, and we're going to roll with it because we need to get DeMarcus Cousins help in any way possible. So, Dave Yeager still the head coach. I don't mind that. And now we go to draft night. Was DeMarcus Cousins traded at the deadline? Is that what it was? Is that maybe why 2K has it to where we have the Pelicans pick? Again, I don't even care, man. It may not even belong to us, actually, but we need to get this man some help. And starting in this draft class could definitely be helpful for sure. So, is there anything we want to do before we jump into the draft, though, is the question. So, we do have some money, like Garrett Temple. Harold Butler's making a bunch of money, and then this guy's making a bunch of money. So, what we could do in theory is we could combine all these salaries and see if anybody's available with pick number 10 and all those salaries. That's where we could start with this to see if we can get DeMarcus Cousins as a co-star right off rip. So unfortunately, that experiment failed. Didn't really see anything that I liked too much. So we're just going to go ahead and see what we can get in this draft class and hope somebody very good falls to us, which has been possible in these draft classes. So Markelle Fultz, Kyle Kuzma, Bam Adebayo goes, and then Dennis Smith goes. Now, if there's no options here, I might just force a trade. But we got De'Aaron Fox, who obviously got drafted by the Sacramento Kings in real life. And I don't think we think twice. I think we go ahead and draft De'Aaron Fox, pair him with DeMarcus Cousins, and be very, very excited about that. So welcome back, De'Aaron Fox. You're back in Sacramento like you were in real life, which is nice. So we go ahead and make that happen once again. So I'll absolutely take that. Welcome back. And he ends up being a 75 overall out of this draft class. So not very good right away, but I'm hoping he can develop into the guy, obviously, he becomes, and he'll be very helpful to DeMarcus Cousins. So I like that a lot. So player options, Rudy Gay declines. I was kind of hoping he would accept it to trade him away, but unfortunately he does not. Now, we are getting rid of a lot of salary here, so there is a possibility we might have some cap space if we go take a look at that in just 1 second. So no qualifying offers, and then free agency. So we have Stephen Curry, and we do have cap room, so we can make an offer on Stephen Curry right now, which is awesome. I don't know if I'll do that, but having a big three of De'Aaron Fox, DeMarcus Cousins, and whatever else we bring in. Now, part of the reason why we have cap space is we literally have nobody on the roster. So we definitely have to keep that in mind. If we sign someone, we're definitely going to not, we're going to have to fill out the rest of the roster because we literally have maybe 3 or 4 rotational pieces if we really throw Ish Wainwright in there, which might not be the best idea, but I guess if we move in small forward, maybe he goes up. We'll see if that is the case. Maybe we get lucky. He goes up to 70. He goes up to 71. So yeah, ideally we don't have him part of the rotation, but if we have to, we have to. Garrett Temple, I guess, is a fine rotational piece, but I don't think we could just go out there and just sign, John Wall with DeMarcus Cousins. Of course, those two were friends, so that would have made a lot of sense as well. But I really like the idea of the fact that we got De'Aaron Fox in this team. So what could we use? We can get a young prime, or I guess this is a young Iguodala, but I don't think he was actually that young. I just don't think he ages for some reason in this roster. You got Otto Porter, who I think could be solid as well. Known as well, not really the position we need. Now, Jabari Parker, we did get him in the Celtics video, ended up being an absolute stud, so we could go that route again, but I kind of want to do something different than rather just go for the same guy, of course. Tyreek did play for Sacramento, as we know. I don't know, man. Not really sure I want to just go all out for one of these guys. So what do we actually want to land ourselves on is the question. So Serge Ibaka, Otto Porter obviously would be a fantastic piece to bring in. I think he'd be a great fit on what we need. I have gotten him a video before though, so I got to keep that in mind. Deion Waiters may not be too bad. James Johnson, Derek Williams. I'm trying to get new pieces that I haven't gotten before, but starting to notice that may not be possible. Like KCP I got before. Got Michael Beasley, Rajon Rondo, and older Rondo. Michael Carter Williams. We might have to sign someone we've signed before. I thought maybe I could do something different, but I'm not sure. So Iggy would be awesome. I mean, I don't know. I just don't like how his age. I don't think his age is correct at all. Like, I don't think he was actually 21 at this time. Serge Ibaka. Who do we want? We got to make a decision. I don't mind the idea of bringing in Dion Waiters. I mean, he just averaged 13 points per game and 39% from three. I actually kind of like the addition of him. So I'm going to re-sign. I'm going to bring in Dion Waiters. That'll be our first signing. We need to fill out our roster, so I'm trying not to spend too much money on one position. Otto Porter, I think, would be solid as well. We might have to offer a little bit too much, but I think if we get him with De'Aaron Fox and Marcus Cousins, that sounds good to me. So that's a shooting guard and a small forward. So ideally, we get a power forward as well. So who could that be is the question. I mean, Jabari Parker, he's asking for a little too much money, though, in this scenario, if we're going to be able to get all these guys on one team. Michael Beasley, or anybody else we can sign at the power forward spot and feel decent about just for this season at the very least. Maybe we go look at centers and maybe we can move one of them to power forward. We'll decide what we want to do. But, as well, Solinger, Nene, Azili, Olynyk, I guess, could play power forward in theory. Yeah, Paul Millsap. That would be interesting. Serge Ibaka definitely sticks out to me for sure. Michael Beasley. Yeah, outside of that, I mean, Serge Ibaka sounds like... I mean, Zach Randolph will play for Sacramento in real life as well, I believe, to end his career, if I'm not mistaken, if I'm not bugging out, if I remember that correctly. Paul Millsap, a little too much. Serge Ibaka, I'll see if I can get him, but have my doubts. So I'm going to offer all of these guys salaries. So Serge Ibaka, Dion Waiters, and Otto Porter. I don't know if I can afford all of them, but if we can, that's a nice little haul. And we can get all three. So that's actually a really solid start. We give ourselves a really good starting five around De'Aaron Fox and DeMarcus Cousins. So I actually like that quite a bit. So I mess with that a lot. So really like that. Ish Wainwright. I mean, there's so many guys at the power forward spot that don't actually exist, obviously. And then we can figure out how we can improve the bench. So Garrett Temple, I guess, is going to have to play next year. We could probably move him to small forward and he would go up at like 1 overall at least. So yeah, he's up to 75, so we can live with that. And now we need to sign, I guess, a backup point guard. We got Patty Mills, Brandon Jennings. Like, any of these guys would be totally fine. Aaron Brooks. I'm going to go Jennings, I guess. We'll sign. Can I get him on a minimum somehow? No, I don't think so. So I'm going to sign him to that. He says no to that, actually. So let's try that again. So I guess we'll give him 2.5 and see if he'll accept that to be our backup point guard. And that might be all we can afford if we get Jennings on this roster. Let's see. And we are going to get Jennings. Can we get... I mean, we've got a Flawless we could bring back, I guess. Barbosa, McRae on a minimum sounds fine, I guess. And then outside of that, Zaza Pachulia on a minimum might be our best option there. So we'll sign him and hopefully get McRae. Okay, so it's not... The bench isn't going to be great at all. But maybe we can trade one of these guys that isn't supposed to be... Like this guy that's making 7.38 along with this guy. Like, I don't know if that would bring me anything. But if I threw like a second-round pick with them, anybody offer me? No, I mean, we're just getting those other guys that are making money that shouldn't be. So we might be stuck with what we got, but overall, I feel decent about that offseason. I feel decent about it. So we got DeMarcus Cousins, we got Otto Porter, we got Serge Ibaka, Dion Waiters regress, unfortunately, Zaza, Crawford, McRae, Garrett Temple. So the bench is going to be lackluster, but Fox and DeMarcus Cousins as our point guard and center rotation. I like it. I like it. Our point guard and center in general does not necessarily rotation, but those two guys I really like as our point guard and center. So we'll roll with that. A loaded draft class for 2018, and we'll see how this team does going into this season. So at the end of your number one, LeBron James is your MVP. Lonzo Ball is your Rookie of the Year. Iguodala is your sixth man. Giannis Defensive Player. And Emmanuel Mudiay is your Most Improved in Denver. Tyronn Lue, Coach of the Year. And Nicholas Brown is your Executive. So I'll be first team James Harden, Russ, LeBron, Giannis, and of course, no surprise, DeMarcus Cousins just dominant once again. All NBA second, all NBA third, and then obviously we hope to see De'Aaron Fox on one of these all-rookie teams, and he does make it as all-rookie first team, which is great. Donovan Mitchell as well, Lonzo, Tatum, Bam Adebayo, and here's your all-rookie second team. So we ended up as the third seed, or second seed actually. We got the second seed. So we get Utah in round one again. We beat them last year, and now we get to play them again. So as far as stats were concerned, you had 26 from Marcus Cousins, 15 out of the gate from De'Aaron Fox, 14 from Ibaka, 13 from Dion Waiters, and 13 from Otto Porter. So not bad from the 5 guys that we kind of threw together around DeMarcus Cousins. And the fact we got the second seed is also a really good sign. The bench still needs improvement, but I will take what we saw at least for this season. So now we get the Jazz in round one. We were able to beat them last year, like I mentioned. So let's go see if we can do that same thing again. And we are going to beat them in 5. So once again, we draw the Warriors. And this time I assume they may have lost one because it feels like every single time I've seen them lose at least one player. And they lose Steph and Curry. So Steph doesn't even stay on his own team in the Steph era now. Still got to deal with Durant. Still got to deal with Clay. Still got to deal with prime Draymond and Iguodala. So still going to be tough, but it'll be a little bit easier, I guess, with Steph not on the roster. So here we go. Game 1 goes to us. Game 2 goes to us. Game 3. I mean, the games haven't been that close either. And we are going to make it to the conference finals in year number 2 with Boogie Cousins. So that is great. All he needed was a competent roster around him, and we've been able to accomplish that. Bench still needs to improve, but I really like the fact that we got to the conference finals already in year number 2. And now we get the Spurs, who of course have Kawhi, Danny Green, Tony Parker, Pau Gasol, Aldridge, Jordan Soldier, Murray, and then Kyle Anderson. So here we go. Game 1 goes to us. We beat them by 14. Game 2, they evened it up. So both games have been very low scoring. They blew us out that time around. Game 3 goes to them. That one was a little bit closer, and now we are down 2-1. So now let's see if we can come out here and win this game 4 to even the series. This is in Sacktown, so winning this game is very pivotal. Unfortunately for us, we're not able to do that. So now we got to win 3 straight in order to even be remotely, capable of making it to the finals. And it's going to be a close one here, so we might be able to steal this one away. And we are going to just barely edge them out, 33 from Boogie Cousins. And now we go to a game 6 at home. So if we win this one, we find ourselves in a game 7, and then anybody can win. And we're going to start out very hot in the first quarter, keeping that same thing in the second quarter, and it looks like we might be forced into game 7, and we do just that. So 82-89, they cut it a little bit at the end, but now we go to a game 7 with Toronto awaiting us, who we did a rebuild on yesterday if you've not seen that. Now it's time to figure out if we can come out here and beat the Spurs in this game 7 to make it to the NBA Finals in year number 2. The Spurs look like they want to win this one more than we do, though, and it looks like we are going to go home here. So unfortunately for us, very early on, wow, Zaza Pachulia was our leading scorer. That's a recipe for disaster in game 7. Toronto goes on to win it all, so shout out to the Raptors. Now it's time to figure out what we do next. So Zaza retires, unfortunately. At least he went out on a good note for himself. He led the way in game 7 for us. Now we go to the lottery. So I don't think we have anybody's pick here, obviously. Philly gets 1 via LA. So, having a high pick would be awesome, but that's not the case. We have 25, so we'll see if we can get anybody we recognize to fall to us. Things went well, Dave Yeager, so I don't think I'm going to change that. So let's just go straight to draft night, and let's see if we get lucky enough to have a really good player fall to us. So at 25, you got Anthony Melton. There's Watanabe. There's Jayshawn Tate, but I think I'm comfortable with taking Anthony Melton here. So I'm going to take Melton out of USC, bring him in. Luka ends up in Philly. But Anthony Melton will sign, and then that'll be pretty much all we do there. Ish Wainwright we can accept. We can he actually accepts that player option, so does Garrett Temple. So I think we'll try to throw those salaries together to do something with them. Maybe get a little bit more aggressive this offseason, considering we just were 1 game away from the finals. And we do have money for an MLE, which is nice. We could sign like a Jeremy Lin, which might sign myself up for that, because the fact that we can get him, I think, would be pretty nice. So I'm going to go ahead and give Jeremy Lin a contract. Ooh, whoa. Hold the phone. I didn't realize Marcus Cousins was a free agent. Hopefully he hasn't got an offer yet. So he does have offers. I almost sold the bag. I didn't realize Marcus Cousins was a free agent. Let's make sure we get him back first before we do anything stupid. So Cousins is secured now. I imagine we don't have money for Lin now. So that makes... I guess we have money for like Parker, but he's too old. Connaughton might actually not be bad because he's still only 25. Allen Crabbe. Booker off the bench may not be too bad either. Give me Trevor Booker. I'm going to sign Trevor Booker. Probably give us a really good power forward to rely on there. So that gives us that. So that gives us our power forward. And now we got to combine some of these salaries to get some actual help off the bench. So, backup 5 or whatever we need to do. We need to do something to improve this bench further than what it is right now. So this trade popped up from the Utah Jazz where we get Joe Ingles and Alex Len. I really like this trade. I don't love trading a first-round pick for Ingles and Alex Len, though, if I'm going to be honest with you. So if we can find a way to do this without including a first, that would be ideal. I don't know if we can get that lucky, though. I'm going to try 3 seconds to see if that would do it for them, and they don't agree to that. So that's fair. What if I throw in, like, one other scrub? What if I throw, like, Crawford in? They don't agree to that either. So Crawford, and then let's say we did this guy down here, and they agree. So just like that, we get out of trading a first-round pick. So now we have a backup point guard in Jennings. We have Dion Waiters still. We got Joe Ingles. We get Trevor Booker, Alex Len. So the bench already tenfold improved, which is awesome. And now we just need to sign a shooting guard if we, feel like we need one. So like Jody Meeks or Rodney Stuckey or whatever, Gerald Green. Maybe we go for, Gerald Green for the vibes. The man used to be damn good. So we'll sign Gerald Green. And that will be, our offseason. So now it is a moment of waiting on how much De'Aaron Fox develops here, because that's going to be the important part. And he's up to an 82 overall already. So that's fantastic. Going up 7 overall. Needed that in the worst way possible. He's only going to continue to get better. Dion Waiters goes up as well. Jennings did go down, kind of to be expected. But overall, I can live with that. So we go into this next season with a much improved bench. We were one game away from the finals, and De'Aaron Fox now has established himself even further. So I have a great feeling about potentially making it this year. If we don't make it this year, De'Aaron Fox is going to continue to get better. Cousins is going to continue to stay the best center in the NBA right now. So I'm not worried. I think eventually it'll take care of itself, and we'll find ourselves in the finals, hopefully hoisting a Larry O'Brien trophy. So Steph once again finds himself on the Chicago Bulls. Yesterday signed with the Bulls as well. Shea's Rookie of the Year in Washington. Iguodala is your sixth man. Anthony Davis Defensive Player. Jason Tatum Most Improved. And Fred Hoiberg is your Coach of the Year. And Dedrick Felder is your executive. So here's your NBA first team with Steph, Harden. This time Boogie Cousins does not make it. I assume that means Fox improved his scoring a little bit. Not an All-NBA second team either, but he does make an All-NBA third team. So yeah, I have to assume 20 and 10 that Fox improved as a scorer. Hopefully that is what that means. But let's take a look. So we are the first seed in the Western Conference, as I kind of expected that eventually this would turn around. And yeah, 22 points per game from Fox, so he definitely improved, and 22 from DeMarcus Cousins. So in an alternate universe, when the Kings drafted De'Aaron Fox, DeMarcus Cousins was still on the roster rather than Buddy Hield, which would have been a lot of fun. Deion Waiters and Otto Porter 15, but I do understand DeMarcus Cousins, you know, kind of on a different timeline than De'Aaron Fox, although he's still in his prime. And Fox, you know, it took him a while to really get to where he is now, but still, you never know. If he would have been playing with DeMarcus Cousins right away, maybe he would have improved a lot quicker. But we get LA in round one, who has D'Lo and Donovan Mitchell as the backcourt, Brandon Ingram, Larry Nance, Nazili, Gary Harris, Derek Favors. So this is a solid AFC. Nothing to be, you know, nothing to just, you know, wash over, gloss over, or whatever. So let's go ahead and see if we can beat the Lakers in round one. And we are going to sweep them. So, you know, I give them respect, but we do beat them. Now I get the team that bounced us last year. So they got DeJounte Murray now, who's improved to what he is now. No longer do they have Tony Parker. And now it's time to figure out if we can beat this team like they beat us last year. So somebody occur around against San Antonio, and they are going to be up 2-1 on us. So San Antonio might low-key be our kryptonite today if we can't take them down. So that's going to be something to keep note on, and it's looking like they are going to go up 3-1 on us. So that's not a great sign. Although I think we were in this position last year, and we did force the game 7, but fell short. You know, I don't really want to be in this position every single time, but if this is what we got to do to beat the Spurs, I'll do it. So let's see if we can win this one. Looks like we're going to win this one pretty easily, but now it's time to figure out if we can win in their hometown again. But this time around, I mean, one game at a time mentality. So before I even say what I'm about to say, let's just go see if we can win this game 6. And San Antonio takes a lead, but we're going to keep it close this time around. The last game felt like it was never even close. Now, we do have the lead, but it's going to be, like I said, a tough one here. We got a very close game. I mean, this is as close as it can get. I think we got to watch this. 96-94. I don't really want to leave it up to chance and see what 2K Sim gives us. So, San Antonio, I'm going to watch this one. I'm not actually going to play this one. I just want to see if my team can get the stop. So let's do that. So let's go see if we can do that. All right, so we're up 2 right now. All we need is one stop to force a game 7. Kawhi Leonard has got Otto Porter on him. Otto Porter's kind of playing some pretty soft D so far, but we got DeJounte Murray coming up. Doesn't do anything. Got a screen from Soldier coming. Kawhi's going to hit a 3 in our face. He's going to miss it, though. So just like that, we are going to a game 7. So we find ourselves in the same position as last year, this time in the second round. But now we're going to be at home in this game 7. So winning this would be a huge win. Low-key, that was an open look for Kawhi Leonard as well. So the fact that he didn't hit that, I think we got a little lucky. Now, he was kind of fading away or whatever. But if he would have hit that, that would have been heartbreaking. Now it's time for the game 7. Hopefully we didn't just come back to this point just to lose like we did last year. But it's looking like that might be the case. So we find ourselves... no, we lost. So we go back-to-back game 7s, back down from 3-1. And it just isn't there for us when we enter the game 7. This time, at least, we got Fox who showed up, but Cousins has not shown up in the last 2 game 7s, and the Spurs went on to win it all. So, a little disappointing. Who retired for us? Barbosa. I mean, he wasn't really playing for us anyway rotationally. But man, that it's heartbreaking. 2 years in a row where we forced a game 7 down for 3-1 just for Cousins not to show up in the game 7. So we need that to change. If we can keep Dave Yeager around, I think we keep him. I mean, things have gone fairly well with him as the head coach, although I don't see him right now, so maybe we have to get somebody different. Dave Yeager, there you are. So I'll just bring him back. I mean, we did good with them so far, so just keep him around. And let's go to options. So main thing is De'Aaron Fox should go up even more. obviously, but we need to figure out if we can do anything else to improve this roster. We're about to go into year 4. Joe Ingles is a free agent, so we are going to re-sign him. We definitely want to keep him around. And we do have money to sign like another good player. So I do like the idea of Corey Joseph as our backup. I actually think he fits extremely well. So we're going to go Joe Ingles, and Corey Joseph does not accept our offer. Unfortunately, he goes back to Toronto. Okay, so TJ McConnell also fits the bill for me. I like this one as well. Let's see if I can... That gives us enough cap space. I don't know if he'll be matched, and he doesn't look like he's matched right now. So McConnell, I really like the addition of. I'll definitely take that. So that might be our only addition, low-key. I think we kind of... I guess we need a backup 5 as well. Alex Len is gone, and hopefully we were able to bring him back. It looks like we're able to, so that's great. And let me just make sure there's nothing else. So Azili would be cool as well, but let's just bring the continuity back in Alex Len, and I will take that. So we could bring in Azili in, it looks like, as well, for extra depth if we really wanted it. So why not? You can never have enough big man depth, so I'll do that. And now it is time to see how much Fox goes up. So he's up to an 88 now. Kind of expected him to develop even more, and he did. One other thing I can look at is if we want to improve from Dion Waiters. I'll take a look at that just to see if that's an option for us. I'll throw the Anthony Melton out there with Dion Waiters and see if we get a shooting guard improvement. If not, I'm very comfortable just running it back with what we have right now. So Marcus Morris, Carroll, Peyton, Tim Hardaway, they're kind of the same player. Dylan Brooks, I mean, yeah, I kind of like that a lot. DJ Warren. Clarkson is interesting for sure. Fournier, Covington, Lynn. I like the idea of Covington as well. Wilson Chandler, Thad Young, Drew Holiday is interesting, but he does not progress in this file at all, I've noticed. Collison, I think I might just be fine with running it back. There's some good offers on the table, don't get me wrong, but I don't think there's anything like crazy that we should absolutely lock ourselves into that. So, about to simulate probably the final chance at us winning a championship. But I think this could finally be it. I really do. I mean, we've gotten so close, man. The team that's beaten us is the team that's gone on to win it all. The Spurs, we've took them, you know, the distance before. It's time to figure out if this can be the year. I really do believe it can be. So let's go ahead and wait this season, and let's see if this is the season I'm expecting it to be. So if the Spurs weren't already hard enough to beat, they somehow landed Jokic in the offseason. So that is kind of my worst nightmare come true for sure. We'll see how it goes. I'm assuming they still have Kawhi paired with Jokic now. We'll see if that's the case. But we still had a really good season at 65-17. So we'll just see, man. We'll see. So All-NBA teams, I don't think I saw... Yeah, Cousins on the All-NBA third team. So San Antonio, do you have... Yeah, they have Kawhi, Aldridge, and Jokic together. Wow, that's absolutely terrifying, not going to lie. If we see them again... You know, if we do get to them, Poole also is interesting as a shooting guard who averaged 14 as a rookie. Out to them for that. But we get LA again. We beat this team last year, but again, they have Mitchell, D'Lo, and Ingram. And that's Tyus Jones. I don't know why I thought that was Trae Young for a second, but this should be interesting, man. We'll see how it goes. But if you take a look at the player stats for this season, he had 26.5 from De'Aaron Fox. He had 20 from Marcus Cousins. So De'Aaron Fox has really taken a lead on this team, which is great. That was a really good draft pick. But now we go ahead and see if we can beat the Lakers in round. Oh, man. This is the nightmare coming true. No, maybe not. We beat them in 6. Okay, it really looked like we were about to lose to the AFC to end this video. Now we get Utah. Now, we've beaten them twice, but they are much different now. They grab Paul George, Anthony Simons, and Rudy Gobert is the big three with Bobby Portis, Malik Monk. So not a bad team at all. Here goes nothing. Game 1 goes to them. Game 2, we even it up. Game 3, 2-1. 2-2. So let's go to the simcast of this game 5 and see if we can win this one, because I would really like to see if we match up against the Spurs and if we could beat them. Jokic versus Cousins as well is a lot of fun, but it looks like we may not get that. We're gonna lose game 5 in Sacramento. So I don't know, man. I really badly want to see us play the Spurs so badly. So I don't know, man. Hopefully we can win this game 6, because if we don't, I'm going to be a little heartbroken, because I really want to see us match against the Spurs. So here we go. Game 6 in Utah. We got to come out firing. So we start off pretty hot in the first quarter. So as long as we don't blow this lead, which they are getting close to getting back in the game, but we went, put our foot on the pedal again. It's only a 5-point game, and it looks like, okay, so we do win. Now it's time for game 7. This one is back in Sacramento. We need to lock in. And we need to win this one, because I want to play the Spurs super badly. And it's looking good right now. We blow them out in the first quarter. They close the gap a little bit in the second. Now, this is a close game again. It looked good for a while, but now we are in a very close game. Now, if we can run away with the lead again, that would feel really good. Offense is playing well so far. As long as we just keep playing defense, we got to start putting the ball in the basket again. And it's going to be a close one down the stretch. They take the lead. We take it back. I'm a little nervous here, man. I really want to go play the Spurs, but 2K may not allow that to happen. So here we go. 3-point lead. All right, 5-point lead. 2 minutes left. 95-98. Let's close this game out. And let's put ourselves in position to play the Spurs, man. I really want to play the Spurs. I want to see if we can match up against them. So we're going to watch this one. I'm not going to play this one out. So let me do this correctly this time. And let me see if my team can take care of it. So we got a 3-point lead with a minute 40. What could possibly go wrong? So we got both centers on the floor right now. All 3 centers on the floor. That just... I mean, we got a lot of size, but... Wow, this is... Alex Len guarding Paul George. I mean, he gets the stop, I guess. This is atrocious. I don't know why 2K likes these center lineups. Why does it do this all the time? We're going to De'Aaron Fox. I mean, this is a big lineup we got on the floor. But TJ Warren guarding Cousins is a nightmare. They do double team, so that makes sense for them. Alex Len has the ball on the top of the key. Cousins, though, gets the ball. He's going to take Warren to the basket. And he's going to draw a foul. So, please put in our actual lineup, bro. Like, we do not need this big lineup out here. Cousins going to knock down the first one. So, it looks like we are going to our starting 5. That feels a lot better. I guess it got it done. But, oh, he misses the second one, though. So, we're up 4. So, still a 2-possession game unless you get an N1-3 or whatever. But Paul George, I'm going to give it to Anthony Simons, who can be a... De'Aaron Fox goes under the screen and allows Simons to knock that down. That was a terrible defensive possession. I had a feeling once he went under the screen, that was bad news for us. But we're going to give it to Cousins. On Gobert. DeMarcus Cousins, best center in the league, right? Yes. 98-101. 49 seconds left in the clock. Only 15 points tonight, but that might be enough as long as we get a stop here. We're up 3. Simons, please don't go under the screen again, Fox. Okay, Fox is there this time. Going to give it to a wide open Malik Monk. That's another guy who can knock down threes, and we got insanely lucky. Deion Waiters has the ball. Give it to Boogie. So Boogie Cousins is going to get it. De'Aaron Fox is going to get the ball. Screen. Nope. He's going to give it to Cousins down low. Cousins go close this game out over Gobert, and he's going to miss it. Just like that, the game is still up for grabs. Malik Monk has the ball. Deion Waiters, make sure you do not allow a wide open 3 again this time. Paul George, another guy who can knock down some threes. Paul George going to give it to a wide open. He's not really wide open. He's going to miss it, though. Wow. Simons is the guy that can knock him down, man. This is a really good team that can shoot some threes. Paul George, Malik Monk, Anthony Simons, some really good shooters on that team. But we are going to make the first one to make this a 4-point game again. And now all we got to do, make this second one. And we miss it. Timeout, Utah. But it is a 4-point game with 5 seconds left. So something drastically would have to go wrong for us to lose this. But never say never. You really never know with this game. Here we go. 5 seconds. Bobby Portis going to inbound the ball. He's going to give it to Anthony Simons. Simons, it looked like foot was on the line. And no, they're going to count that as a 3. So there's 3 seconds left in the clock. Utah does not have another timeout. Simons, man, is doing his thing out here. He is balling out. All right. We got to knock down some free throws. 3 seconds left in the clock. Fox is going to get the ball. All right, so Fox is going to go see if he can close this game at the free throw line. I mean, as long as we knock down 2, I think we won this game because there's only 3 seconds on the shot clock. So we knocked that one down. If we can make this one, we're feeling good. And we make it. Okay. 101 and 104, 3 seconds on the shot clock. They're going to hoist a full court heaver. Anthony, half court. I mean, low key, it almost went in. But thankfully, we are going to the conference finals again, and we finally get to play the Spurs again. Actually, not finally. We played them the last 2 years, but let's go play the Spurs. All right, Jokic versus DeMarcus Cousins is a ton of fun. Not going to lie. I can't wait to see how this goes. So here we go. Let's just jump right into it. So game 1 goes to them. They beat us by 7. Game 2, 2-0, 3-0, and all of that just to lose in 4 probably to the Spurs. But we'll simcast this game 4 to see if we can at least get one on them. It's looking like we can get this one at least, and we are going to beat them. So we beat them in that one. I mean, we've forced the game 7 each time we've been down 3-1. Can we do that from down 3-0? That is the question. This one's in Sacramento, so if we win this game, things become decently interesting. We have the lead right now, and we are going to force the game 6. So you're in Fox with 39. We win this game 6. You never really know, man. You never know. But the San Antonio Spurs look locked in. We have it close, though. Maybe we could take this lead at the end, and it's not looking like we're down 7. I think that's going to be all she wrote, ladies and gentlemen. So we could not beat the Spurs. And then once they added Jokic with Kawhi and Aldridge, I think it was kind of cooked from there. So the Spurs go on to win it all. Jokic wins Finals MVP. I mean, what can you really do, man? I'm not going to be too upset with that. There was really not much we could have done in that situation. Jokic joining Kawhi is absolutely insane. But hey, I hope you guys enjoyed the video regardless. Love how we did this video. I think it went fairly well, other than obviously not getting a championship. But we gave Cousins a chance, and that's all you can really ask for. So thank you guys for watching. I'll see you all in the next one. This is Crushables. I'm saying peace. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you click here to watch another video that I know you'll love.